Hey lovely yogis, welcome to this full body deep stretch yoga class with me, Amy, your yoga teacher for the day. If you've not met me before, then welcome, and if you have been here before, then thank you so much for coming back. Just before we start, just to say, if you've not subscribed already, please do so that you never miss a class from me. You can also leave comments with any requests or suggestions, and of course don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it. So we're going to begin today in a Baddha Konasana position, but with the feet nice and far away from the groin. So bringing the soles of the feet to touch, knees dropping out to the sides, and thread the hands underneath the legs with the palms facing up towards the sky. So letting the fingertips curl in towards the hands and start to drop the head down between the legs. You can let the spine round and relax here. Usually I would invite you to find a long spine in every pose, but just for this one, we're letting everything round, soften and stretch. Connect to your breath here in your Baddha Konasana. Connect to your body, taking a scan of any sensations, any areas of particular tension or tightness. And send the breath into those areas of tension. Throughout our class, we can use the breath to take us deeper into poses, to help us stay calm through difficult sensations, to help us soften and relax, to intensify the stretch. The breath is key to everything in yoga. If we're not focused on our breath, we're just stretching. The breath is what makes yoga yoga. As you are ready, use your next inhale to slide the hands out from underneath you and start to walk those feet in towards the body. Letting the knees drop out, bringing the hands to the ankles or to the outsides of the feet. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, lift the chest. Exhale, fold down over the legs. This time finding that length before we fold, and thinking about drawing the chest forwards rather than drawing it down. Fill those lungs as you draw yourself back upwards to an upright position. Bring the left foot so that the shin is parallel with the front of the mat, and bring the right leg to stack on top of the left, making sure that the ankle is overhanging the knee. So rather than the ankle stacking on top of the left knee, we want it to be overhanging the knee. You might have your right knee totally up in the air like this, that is totally cool, or you might start to draw the right knee down towards that left shin, keeping the chest lifted the entire time. and keeping the feet nice and flexed, so drawing the toes back towards the knees. We'll be spending a decent amount of time in each pose today, giving time for everything to soften and relax and open up. Option for your last breath or so here to fold down over that leg. And then use your next breath in to push yourself upright. Let the right leg carry on travelling over the left so that the knees are stacked. And start to draw the heels in towards the glutes on each side, landing in our cow face pose. You can take the arm stretch here, reaching the left arm up, the right arm under, and clasping the fingertips behind the back like this. Or you can bring the left elbow up and use the right hand to draw that left elbow down towards the earth, finding the resistance. So drawing it down, but also pushing it up with its own strength at the same time, if that made any sense whatsoever. So if the hands are clasped, we're pulling the left hand up and the right hand down. If you've got the clasp, unravel and then bring the right arm across the body. Pull the right arm into the chest as you draw the shoulder down, stretching through the right arm here. And I'll invite you to take the right hand into a fist and start to take some circles with that fist in both directions, feeling into the wrist here. Let go of that right arm and start to stretch the right fingertips by using the left hand to push each finger and the thumb back towards the arm. Now bring the right hand to face up towards the sky. Take the left hand on top of the right. Push the right fingertips down towards the earth as you push that wrist away from you, stretching through the wrist and through the forearm. Now you might need to turn to face the long edge of your mat depending on the space. You'll keep the left leg where it is and bring the right leg out to the side, out at an angle. So the hips are open, left heel draws in towards the groin, right toes point up towards the sky. Bring the right hand to the left knee and then sweep the left arm up and over in the direction of the right toes. Does not have to reach them. You can also bring the right hand down onto the mat. Try and keep that chest nice and lifted, so not collapsing down like this. We want the chest to be shining up towards the sky. Unravel yourself from the fold. Now again, depending on the space, you can either bring the right leg out in front of you, just where you are, or you can keep the right leg where it is and turn the hips to face the leg. So either way, we've got the neutral hips option now. So the sole of the left foot planting in towards the right thigh, right toes pointing up towards the sky. Had a little rhyme there. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold down over that right leg. Once again, thinking of reaching the chest forwards before we lower. Deep breath in, slide those hands up the mat and switch the position of the legs. So right leg on bottom this time, right shin parallel to the front of the mat, then the left ankle crosses over the top of that right shin, giving a nice overhang with that left foot. Flexing the right and the left toes back towards the knees and lifting up and out through the crown of the head. This side might feel totally different from the other side, so just take it to the edge of the stretch on this side. And then maybe for the last few breaths, you fold down over that leg. Sending the breath into the sensations. And knowing that if the breath has become tight, short or constricted, that is a sign that you've gone too far and that you need to back out of the pose. We're aiming for sensations but never pain. Inhale to draw yourself back up to a seated position, then bring the knees to stack, bring the heels in towards the hips, left knee is on top of right in our cow face pose. Then we either draw the right elbow down with the left hand or we find the interlace behind the lower back. Right elbow reaching up to the sky, left elbow reaching down towards the earth. And play with where you have that top elbow. You might find that it changes the intensity of the stretch or the location of the stretch. If taking this bind means that you collapse like this, then do not take that bind. Keep yourself nice and open, nice and lifted, never sacrificing the integrity just to achieve a certain pose. If we're not doing it with correct alignment, then really there is no point. Release that clasp, draw the left arm across the body and then maybe start to take those circles with the left hand in a fist, going in both directions. Then release that left hand, start to stretch those fingers, pushing them back towards that left arm. Then turn the left hand to point up towards the sky and then start to stretch those fingertips back using the right hand, pushing the wrist away from you. Release that hand, keep the right leg where it is and either turn to face the long edge of your mat or stay where you are. Bring the left leg out to the side. Right heel in towards the groin, left hand onto right knee, right arm sweeps up and over in the direction of the left toes or anywhere near them. And you don't have to be gripping onto that right knee, you can bring the forearm down to the floor. Unravel yourself, then either facing this edge of the mat or turning back to face the front. We've got the left toes pointing up to the sky and with our neutral hips, the right sole of the foot pressing into the left thigh. Inhale, reach the arms up, find that length, then exhale, start to fold down towards that leg. You don't have to reach the chest down towards the thigh. You don't have to reach the feet. Deep breath in, slide yourself back upright, cross over the ankles, roll onto the knees, plant the hands on the mat and stack the hips over the knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Deep breath in, send the hips and the chest up towards the sky. Deep breath out, draw the hips and the chin towards one another. One more time, fill those lungs as you shine the heart forwards and empty those lungs as you lift and separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, come back to a neutral flat back position. Inhale, reach the right leg out behind. Exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. You can have the left toes flat on the mat or tucked under, whatever feels best. And you can stay here on the hands or come down onto the forearms and start to sway from side to side, feeling into that right hip. Now, either staying on the forearms or coming back onto the hands, swing the right arm around, reach for that left foot and start to draw that foot in towards the body. I personally find the stretch is more intense when I'm up on my hand, but you might find that it feels different on your forearm, so you can just experiment with those two options. Release that foot, plant the right hand to the outside of the right foot, start to walk that foot back to centre. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Toes pointing up to the sky. Left hip over left knee. Inhale, rock your way back forwards into a low lunge and then step that right knee back into your tabletop position. Inhale, sweep the left foot high. Exhale, step that foot to the outside of the left hand. Then stay up here or come down onto your forearms, maybe rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot, and take whatever option feels best with that right foot. Finding the movement as we hold our lizard pose, wiggling from side to side. either down on your forearms or up on your hands. Bend in that right leg, reach the left arm around, finding both a quad stretch and a twist here. Release that foot, walk the left foot back under the left knee, straighten that left leg, drawing the hips back in space. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Deep breath in, rock yourself back into a low lunge, then step the left knee back into your tabletop. Keep the hips stacking above the knees, then walk the hands towards the front of the mat, sinking the chest down into puppy pose, either with the hands on the floor or coming up onto your fingertips for a slightly deeper stretch. Keep the left arm where it is, slide the right arm under the left, come onto the right ear and the right shoulder. Option to stay here or to reach the left arm up and over for the right inner thigh and taking a bind. Inhale, unravel, slide that left arm down the mat, bring the right arm to meet it, and then slide the left underneath the right, coming onto left ear and left shoulder, and then maybe taking that bind. Unravel yourself, plant the right hand on the mat, followed by the left, then plant both forearms on the mat, snake your way forwards into a Sphinx pose, stacking the shoulders above the elbows, rooting down through the forearms, spreading through the fingers, lifting the chest up towards the sky. Option here to bring the right knee up and in towards the the right elbow coming into a half frog position. If you didn't take that half frog, come and meet us in there now. Lift up and out of the right elbow, slide the left hand underneath the right arm, place the left hand on the right knee and roll over onto your back, landing in a supine twist. Unravel yourself, slide your way back into a Sphinx pose, then the option of staying in Sphinx for these first few breaths, or bringing the left knee up towards the left elbow for a half frog. Then lifting up that left elbow, threading the right arm underneath, placing the right hand on the left knee, then rolling onto your back for a supine twist. This time, unravel yourself, keep rolling onto your back, feet are planting on the earth, knees pointing up to the sky. Keep the left knee pointing up, bring the right ankle to cross over the left knee, then thread the hands behind the left thigh or around that left shin. Draw the left knee towards you, draw the right knee away from you. Keep the hips and the shoulders rooted down into the earth. Unravel yourself and take it straight over to the other side. Left ankle crossing over the right knee, keeping those feet nice and flexed. Unravel yourself, take any other moves that are calling to you to finish your practice. Maybe it's an apanasana, our knees to chest, or a happy baby with the hands on the inside or the outside edges of the feet. Maybe straightening one leg at a time in our happy baby. After you've taken whatever movement you need, make your way into Shavasana, where we will just spend a few moments chilling out. You can bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly if you wish. And scan the body for any residual tension. Anywhere that you need to direct your attention or your breath or your mind to soften. Connect to those areas and try and imagine them melting into the mat. If you feel like chilling out for longer, please do so. Reach over, pop me on pause and chill out for as long as you fancy. If you feel like moving on, as always, I'll invite you to bring whatever movement you fancy to the body. Maybe some stretching, wiggling, rolling around, rocking from side to side. Before making your way up to a seated position, we'll seal our practice with a deep releasing breath. Inhale through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. If you enjoyed that flow, like I said at the start, I would be the most grateful little bean if you could like this video, comment with any thoughts, requests or suggestions, and of course subscribe so that we can practice together again in the future. Hoping you have a wonderful day.